Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today, we're going to be talking about a pretty funny, pretty hilarious story. I'm not completely shocked. I'm not completely surprised. But I am in a way glad to hear, and I think it is a step in the right direction. I think it is very, very good. Obviously, we've talked previously, made a couple of videos about the whole import situation, about the players and content creators and commentators and everybody kind of giving their reactions, thoughts, everything about it. Obviously the owners having some weird responses, some inappropriate interactions with fans, with players, all of this weird stuff. And this is a tweet thread that we have come back to many a times, obviously with Vulcan tweeting out, if you want a full import team, go buy a team in that region, XD, and then full damn one comes to NA, plays on 60 ping the whole year. Do they beat the top LPL team? They don't, XD. And then this fateful tweet from TSM Reginald himself saying, ignorant tweet, if every LCS team left the LCS, you'll be out of a job and probably be paid minimum, which was absolutely hilarious. A lot of people were really mad about that. A lot of people were coming to Vulcan's defense. Obviously the comments are just filled with people defending Vulcan, calling Regi stupid, calling Regi dumb, calling him immature, calling him just unprofessional, a million different things. But we finally have another step in the right direction, another kind of chapter of this story, I guess, we're going to be talking about in this video today. But before we get into that, I just want to mention real quick, if you have not already, please take a second and smash that like button. I would appreciate it so much. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm, helps us continue to grow our channel, get our videos out to more and more people. Just keep running up those numbers. That would be awesome. A really easy, simple, and great way to help support the channel if you are interested in doing that. Also subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content so you don't miss out on anything we got going on in the future, because we're definitely going to have a lot of good stuff coming your way. With that being said, let's get right into this. This story comes from our good man, Travis Gafford. This guy's a content machine. He's been doing awesome things in 2021 and in 2020, and really at all times recently. I think he's really upping his game, though, as a interviewer, as a content creator, streamer, YouTube, everything. He's been doing awesome and is like one of the least controversial guys in the whole scene, honestly. But yeah, super good. Seems like he's getting more inside information than ever, getting more scoops, more stories, and he's working really hard. So let's see what he's got to say about this situation.
The drama to turn it into like I didn't want to veer into like TMZ, but
I think it's funny that Travis talks about not wanting to be TMZ and stuff, even though, like, when you look at his channel, yes, his interviews do well, and if he gets good quotes from big name players and stuff, yeah, that does very well. But rumors, speculation, news, this is the stuff people really like. This is the stuff that's hard for us to get into. Every sport, like basketball, football, MLB, they all have these inside guys who get the inside scoop and the news and the stories and the drama and the behind the scenes stuff, the rumors that fans don't have access to. We don't have these inside sources. We aren't talking to people. We can't just call up Riot. We can't just call up a player or a team owner or a coach or something like that. So while Travis is saying, oh, I don't want to be TMZ, but then he literally goes on and continues to give his thoughts anyway, I just think it's funny. He's just scared of being labeled in a certain way or whatever for whatever reason, but then just continues to do this stuff. He made rumor and speculation videos on players and teams just like I had been doing this past offseason. He, continues to make kind of these rumor and drama type videos, but doesn't want to be TMZ. Like, yes, I get TMZ has a bad rap and a bad name and stuff, but they run up insane views. They get insane numbers. People enjoy that content. And maybe, yes, it's unethical or they do some questionable business practices and yada, but, I mean, what Travis is doing, I would not call TMZ.
There was some speculation on the last Hotline League that Andy could have gotten fined for what he did with Vulcan. And I guess I can say now that I reached out to Riot, who confirmed that he did get fined $5,000 for conduct unbecoming. So, yeah, that's the news there. But anyway, should we talk about this? Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, so I won't go over everything in the article because, like I said, it's lengthy.
So I did think that was pretty hilarious. He got fined. Andy, Reginald, obviously that's who they're talking about in case you didn't know. Reginald, TSM Reginald, the owner of TSM, his name is Andy Din, got fined $5,000 for this tweet. Now, there's a lot of reactions to this. My reaction, I think, is a little bit different than what the general community reaction is. I think what I've seen the most so far is, oh, wow, $5,000. That'll show him. Nice job, Riot. You really did something. Like, people just kind of acting like Riot fined him without actually finding him. Obviously, he's a multi-millionaire. $5,000 shouldn't really be anything to him. So a lot of people are just like, okay, so Riot did nothing. Great, awesome, glad to see he got away with this. But on the other hand, I think this was actually a good move by Riot. Yes, you could have upped the amount, you could have made it more meaningful, you know, but what were you really going to fine him? I mean, most fines, even that we see in like professional sports and stuff, are 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, like 25,000 is like a crazy amount, kind of. It's not like they're fining, it's not like anyone's ever really getting fined a meaningful amount of money. It's not like Riot is like trying to like hurt your livelihood or you know, your living situation or anything like that. They're just trying to send a message, both publicly and to the person, and I think this does just that. This also opens a door to setting a precedent for other people and other owners and people in the community to know that you are not allowed to be unprofessional like this, especially in public forums and public settings. You are not allowed to talk to other teams players, other teams staff, you know, like this, in a way like this, and just to be more careful overall of what you are saying. Yes, this is absolutely just a slap on the wrist, but it also opens up the door to future, you know, if Regi wants to keep doing stuff like this, then it opens them to be able to increase the amounts later on. This is like giving a warning that still actually has a punishment behind it. Now, has Regi ever been warned or anything like, you know, by Riot before? I don't know. He said some stupid, crazy stuff before. A lot of the LCS owners have. So I don't know if maybe he's gotten a warning before and then this is kind of their next step up, or if this is just their first step. I wouldn't really be surprised either way. But either way, I think this does serve as a good warning, but also being a deterrent not only to him, but to everyone else as well. So, in that regard, I think Riot did do a good job. Again, do I think, you know, Regi's going to go bankrupt or he's going to be kept up at night by getting fined like this or whatever? No, but it's also not fun to lose money. Obviously, you know, anyone, rich people, poor people, whatever, they're not just trying to give away their money. He doesn't want to just hand out checks to Riot for $5,000. That's going to suck. That's not fun. It also, I'm sure this whole situation has been embarrassing for him, and really, it's been a detriment to himself, his own personal brand, and to TSM, who is his brand. Sponsors don't want to be, you know, back in teams too often that are going to be super controversial, that are going to be hated by fans, that are going to be losing viewership, that are going to be losing fans, that people are going to be spending money on your stuff. Like, overall, the situation has not been good for Mr. Andy, for TSM, for Regi, and hopefully, while this is a very, very light penalty, hopefully a penalty at all and a statement from Riot is enough to hopefully start changing some things. And again, I hope it is a sign to a lot of the other owners and stuff that they are not above the LCS, that they are not above the players in the LCS, they are not above the league. No one is bigger than what they have going on, and it takes everyone to make this successful. It's not Regi getting to talk to players, let alone other teams' players, however he wants, insulting people, talking down to them, and being very disrespectful and very unprofessional. Because again, not only is he making himself look bad in his personal brand and image, he's making TSM look bad, and also making the league look bad overall. And since they are a franchise league, all the teams benefit off of each other, and everyone needs everyone to kind of work together and go together, and the league is supposed to build each other up. That's the idea with franchising, that as everyone gets built up, everyone succeeds, everyone makes more money, and tearing down other teams, other players, that doesn't make sense just because they disagreed with you in an argument where honestly you're probably in the wrong and a lot of people disagreed with you. But again, either way, you can have your own opinions, but when you start talking to people like this, it's not going to be a good sign. On the other hand, we have had some other owners say some very, very questionable things, and it did kind of bring me to the point of C9 Jack and his comments of calling out fans, or attempting to call out fans and attempting to claim that some fans were racist or xenophobic for saying that they didn't want to see a bunch of Koreans in the LCS as opposed to you know, the North American players that maybe they've you know, grown up with and root for and maybe relate to a little bit more. And you know, Jack obviously responding by saying that that is racist, that's xenophobic, and he will not stand for that. That is obviously a very, very heavy allegation, trying to call people racist, trying to call people xenophobic. Those are allegations that can be very, very harmful and can be very, very damaging to people. And yes, if someone is being racist or xenophobic or whatever, you know, to some extent, that's not good, obviously, and that should be dealt with accordingly. And if you know, if you're standing up what's right, that should be called out for. But when you are just throwing that around, especially again to LCS fans, and not only are you putting that statement out publicly, again, which represents yourself, Jack, C9, and then in turn the LCS and the organization, but also attacking fans like that in a public forum, but then also with claims like that, which were completely baseless and completely out of bounds, I would, I would have said that should be likely of a fine as well, because I think if somebody did that in a professional sports organization, if somebody was coming at fans like that one of these leagues, whether it be the NBA, the NFL, the MLB, I don't really know how stuff gets handled internationally or anything. I just know the American sports leagues the most. I am pretty damn sure there would be a fine, or at least a meeting or a call or a warning or something being given out to any owners that were talking to fans like that in some of these leagues. Now, again, if they are actually wrong, you have a little bit more leeway, but I don't really think it was the time or the place for Jack to be making any allegations like that. And I do think that Riot should maybe also send a message over to Cloud9 and just to everyone in the league as well that, yes, you do need to be careful what you are saying on your social media platforms. You guys do have real power. You guys can affect people, and you just need to be more professional and have a better look than that. If we want esports to mature, if we want the LCS to mature and continue to grow and gain respect, because with respect comes money, comes sponsorships, comes viewership, comes just increased revenue for everybody, makes this a sustainable business model. We do need to be more mature. We do need to be more professional, and we do need to treat people with respect. Fans, players, other owners, people in this ecosystem. And right now, in a lot of ways, that is not happening. It is kind of the people at the top looking down on everyone else, which isn't too unnormal, I guess. You kind of see that stuff everywhere nowadays, but it's not a great sign. Getting back to the Reginald stuff, getting back to the TSM stuff, what is also hilarious is that right now, if you take a look at the LCS standings, Cloud9 and Vulcan are obviously ahead of TSM, so, just funny that he's maybe getting the last laugh there. We'll see. But also that the full North American team is sitting at 10-5 in Dignitas, which is right now the same record as TSM, but they have a 2-0 season series lead on TSM, so they do have the tiebreaker over them, so they are currently in second place, and that's really, really hilarious, because not only is Dignitas a full North American team, they're not even like the 5 best North American players. They are just 5 North American players that honestly, we're just kind of like a ragtag bunch thrown together that were just kind of there, and Dignitas wanted to make this work, and it was a bunch of players that were hoping to get another shot, wanting to prove themselves, and they've been able to do that. So all the owners talking about that it's impossible to win or grow or foster growth with only North American talent, yet Dignitas is sitting here 10-5. Tied with TSM, above Liquid, above 100 Thieves, only 1 game back at Cloud9, and they don't even have the best of the best North American talent. There's even better North American players and talent out there, and then so many other North American players who have not even gotten a shot yet. Is just absolutely hilarious. I mean, I love to see it. It is super, super funny when the owners want to act like this, and then hopefully, it all kind of gets thrown in their face a little bit. Not that it hasn't already. They've been, pretty publicly embarrassed, but I do hope that Dignitas continues to win, continues to show what North American players can do, and in the end, it's not like I'm saying no imports or that imports are necessarily bad or evil or anything like that, but I do think that the owners have been in the wrong a lot in this situation, and I'm glad Riot is finally stepping in and trying to send a message. So Regi maybe thinks he's super bad and can just talk to people however he wants, but dude got fined $5,000 coming in, and again, if he wants to continue to act like this in the future, those fines are going to keep adding up, and they're going to increase in value for sure. But hopefully, he did apologize for all this. Things seem to be trending in the right direction. Hopefully, everyone can learn from this and start to just be better. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about this whole situation? Do you think the $5,000 fine was good? Do you think it needed to be more? Do you think he should not got fined at all? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on anything we talked about in today's video. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!